How we doing, guys? Welcome to the preview and the predicted lineup. Newcastle against Arsenal, the dreaded 12:30 kickoff. And yeah, TV, we already know that they do not care about the travelling supporters and the kind of times that they have to be leaving to get to Newcastle. But that's a completely different subject for another day. To be honest with you, I probably won't even speak about it because it's just pointless. They do it every single year and they don't care. So yeah, listen, it's a big game in it, and it's the start of three massive games: Newcastle, Inter Milan, Chelsea, all away from home. I think it was probably about 6 weeks or so ago, we had three really tough away games with Spurs, Atalanta and Man City, and I thought, can't get much tougher than that, can it? Yeah, it has. Newcastle, listen, they're not in the greatest of form, should we say. They look really decent in the Carabao Cup against Chelsea in midweek, but I take that, with a pinch of salt when you look at the kind of lineups and everything else and the competition, and it wasn't the Premier League. But St James's Park, difficult place to go. We already remember and know what happened last season, and we need to right a few wrongs. We've got a score to settle with Newcastle, and we can sit here all day long and talk about the ball being out of play, the foul by Joe Linton on Gabriel. We already know the goal should never have stood. But then on the flip side, people can say, well, should Kai Havertz have been sent off for that tackle? But then on the other side, we could sit here and say Bruno Guimaraes should have been sent off for the forearm smash on Jorginho. So swings and roundabouts at the end of the day. The only way that we can right the wrongs of last season is by going there and putting a big performance in and getting the 3 points. And that will start us off lovely into what I was explaining, a massive, set of games. Playing early does have one advantage, which is that if you win, you put the pressure on everybody else that's in and around you. And when you're in the position that we are and challenging for the title, it kind of just passes it back over to Manchester City and Liverpool and says, done our job, over to you boys. And yeah, at the end of the day, Man City got a lot of injuries at the moment. And that's another subject as well that we could talk about, because when Arsenal have got injuries, the mainstream media, in particular Sky Sports, sit there and talk about how we need to get on with it, stop sulking. And then Manchester City go and get a load of injuries, given the size of their squad and the players that they have at their disposal. And all of a sudden, everybody should feel sorry for them. You're taking the piss. But yeah, listen, at the end of the day, we've got to go out there. We've got to perform. A lot of players would have had, ample rest, shall we say, because of the Preston game in midweek. And, players weren't really at it, were they? The ones that are going to be involved, the likes of Timber and whatnot, came off at half time. It was all, pretty straightforward stuff. So I don't feel that there will be any issues. I do believe Gabriel will be back for this game. And yeah, it's just going to be a really good game. I think it will be a really good game anyway. And it'd be just interesting to see how we set up. And listen, we've got to, go and get the 3 points. And like I said, let's go and right the wrongs of last season. And let's go and, get our own little bit of justice. Because at the end of the day, the Premier League, the referees and everybody else ain't going to help us. So let's just go out, get the job done. And then at the end of it, we can talk about the football and the performance and not referees or VAR, etc., etc. So listen, with that said, let's go and get into the predicted lineup. Starting off in goal, David Raya. Very straightforward. Right back, I believe that Ben White will go straight back into his right back position. Right centre back, William Saliba. Back from his suspension. So many people actually thought he had a 3-match ban because it was a straight red card, without actually realising that a straight red card and 3-match ban is for violent conduct, not for something that Saliba was sent off, which is a professional foul. It's 1 game. So yeah, he comes back into the side for this game. Very, very straightforward. Left centre back Gabriel. Yeah, listen, we was all worried when he went down last week, panicking, fearing the worst. But it looks like he's absolutely fine. And from what we're hearing, he could have actually played on Wednesday, but Arsenal just decided, now give him this bit of time to have the rest and we'll get him going again on Saturday. Left back, I think it will be Jurriën Timber. Very, very straightforward for me. That is more of a back four, shall we say, that looks normal. Thomas Partey, I might add, was excellent against Liverpool. But when you're finishing the game with Partey, Ben White, Kiwior and Miles Lewis-Skelly, it's tough. You got 2 midfielders there playing as fullbacks. So this is more back to its normality. Just in front, Thomas Partey. He will go back into his more preferred position. And I think he'll be crucial for this game. Opening up the play, doing the things that he's very good at. And he's been so good of late. And he's looking more like his old self from a couple of years ago. On the right-hand side, Bukayo Saka got 25 minutes or so against Preston. Very straightforward. Excellent against Liverpool. First half in particular, tore Robertson a new one with the goal he scored. But yeah, that's a very, very straightforward one for me. Next to him, Ethan Nwaneri. Please, Mikel, play him. Please, 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 please just play him. He's going to be on cloud 9 right now. The way he played against Preston, the way he demands the ball, the way the players give him the ball. That's how much trust these players have in, Nwaneri, that they just give him the ball. It's like, there you go. Take the ball, go and do what you do. I'd start him all day long. Alongside him, Declan Rice had a nice break on Wednesday, sat on the bench. So I had a decent day out in Preston. But yeah, listen, very straightforward. And I don't want to see Partey, Moreno and Rice. I would just like to see Nwaneri in there with Declan Rice and Thomas Partey. On the left-hand side, Martinelli played on Wednesday but came off for Saka. So he, got the rest he would have needed, etc., etc. Yeah, so pretty straightforward one for me. Up front as the main striker, Kai Havertz came on at half-time at Preston, so only 45 minutes in his legs. Very, very straightforward. He is our main striker, not Gabriel Jesus. And it's as simple as that. So I think that's a very, very strong lineup when you're looking at it. The back four is more to its normal self. The midfield has that solidity, the creativity that I think we're all looking for. In the wide areas, Saka, we all know what he can do. And then Kai Havertz. So, listen, it's a strong enough lineup. Let's right the wrongs of last season. Let's write a new script. And let's get the 3 points. It's as simple as that. So, listen, if you're new around here, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you smash a like on this video. And I will see you a lot soon. I'm out of here.